Hello, hello, welcome to Surviving Mars. This is a new Let's Play series I'll be doing. Just so you know, I am not the most experienced with this game, so if you're a beginner, just like me, this would be a good series to follow along with, because we can both learn at the same time. But I do have sufficient knowledge of the game to know how majority of the mechanics work, and also I do have some basic understanding of the end game goals and stuff like that. Okay, so I'm not going to go into too much detail with the whole setting up a new game, because I actually tried to record this video before and I took like half an hour just to set up the game. So I'm not going to go into too much detail because there is a lot of detail. So basically, I've got every single DLC installed. The Green Planet, I think, was the latest one that came out. I've got the... I bought the bundle of Surviving Mars, so I've got every single DLC that isn't out installed. And I've got the Season Pass, so any future DLC I'll have installed as well. As of recording this, it's the middle of 2019, so if you're playing around the same time, you should have like the same updates and stuff the game has for me. So it should be pretty easy to follow along with. Just one disclaimer: there are things that I am still unsure about in the game, like how to set up colonist domes to be the most efficient. And one more little thing before we get into it is that I am suffering a bit of a fever right now, I guess you could say. So that's why my voice might change pitches randomly, or I might have to sneeze or something. Anyway, sorry about all of this, and sorry for taking your time this long. So let's get straight into the game. New game. So I've already decided what I want my mission sponsor and commander profile to be. I'm going to go with Brazil for my mission sponsor. That is because they have good rare metal export prices, and you also get the rare metals refinery, which turns your waste rock into rare metal. I decided to go with Brazil against India, which I could have turned my waste rock into normal metal, simply because I think the rare metal exports will give us more funding quicker and be of more help to us. My commander profile, I've decided as well, rocket scientist. You get an extra rocket to start with, and you unlock the bonus tech to begin with CO2 jet propulsion, which unlocks shuttle hubs. So that is what I want, because shuttle hubs are very good, especially if you early onwards in the game have two little different settlements across a large gap. You can use tunnels, but shuttle hubs are more autonomous, and they just take some of the worry away from spreading your resources out evenly to places that need it. Okay, so colony logo I'll just have as the final countdown, because that's one of my favorite aesthetics. Mystery, we're just going to go with the very first one because I haven't done it yet. I've only done one, to be fair, but yeah, just going to have the very first one. And rival colonies 3, game rules none, not going to have any. Here's all the details if you want to go through it and have a look. So yeah, let's select our payload now. As I said, this is a very beginner friendly Let's Play, so hopefully you can follow along as well. Maybe not if you've had zero experience with the game, but if you're like me and you've only played it for a couple of weeks or a week or even a few days, this might be easy to follow along and you might learn something. So because we've got at least 2 starting rockets, what I'm going to do is the very first rocket is going to be for scanning, because I'm going to be picking a very new random location on the map, and I'll have no idea what's there, so I'm going to need a lot of orbital probes. So orbital probes, they basically scan your map up and down, left to right, on a grid pattern, in any order, by the way. And it, shows you what's there. If there's concrete deposits, metal deposits, water deposits, etc. So orbital probes are very handy. I heard that some people apparently don't like to take them. They're a waste of money because you can just scan manually while you're on the ground. It just takes longer, but in my opinion, orbital probes, you want the very first location that you land your very first rocket to be, the best location that you can, for simplicity's sake, and so it's easier. RC transport, we do need one of them. Drones, obviously we need some drones. Drones are basically your workers. Without workers, you are going to do nothing. Your game's not going to go anywhere. Machine parts, yes, we do need them to set up some things. Electronics, yes. Polymers, yes. And just so you know, I am going to be having some more prefab buildings on the second rocket. I'll show you that once we start. The very first rocket is just so I can scan the environment to find the best location to sit down, start with. So we've got $6 billion left if we order this rocket. So let's go next. Select a landing spot. So these people, I don't know if everyone knows this, but you can just select a random spot on the map and start there. You don't have to select one of these pre-loaded destinations. Although the preloaded destinations are the best for resources and minimal threats, but you can pick other places. Like you can pick right next to it and it would have similar good resources and low threats. So I actually think that's what I'm going to do, is pick a random location, but it's going to be close proximity to one of the preloaded destinations. Honestly, I'm thinking I want something with minimal threats. Obviously, everyone wants minimal threats unless you want to die, and good resources. But my resource in particular I think I want is concrete, because end game you can get bigger and better extractors which can help you a lot with concrete and metals. Water, you have moisture evaporators, so that water's not a huge thing. Oh, here's a good spot. So average altitude 1,494 meters, temperatures -15 degrees Celsius, and topography relatively flat, which is what I want. Okay, so it's got good concrete. Water, it would come in handy. Metals, actually I think I would rather have better metals than water. This is honestly probably going to be the longest part of this Let's Play, is just picking a spot on the map. What about down here? Oh, down here actually. Oh, good metals, but a lot of dust storm. Oh, this one's. Oh, I'm on the thing. Here we go. Metal, concrete. Oh, water's low, but as I said, I don't think that matters. Oh, this one. Oh no, that's. I keep landing on the thing. Okay, you know what? We are going to go with. Here we go. No, that's very low water. Okay, look, stop. This is our site. 19 degrees south, 178 degrees east. We are just going to go with this one. It's got not as much water as I'd like, but it's got full metals and full concrete. So there should be an abundance of those two resources at the very least. And as I said, we have moisture evaporators for the water. So there's my location if you want to pick the same one as me. So let's get straight into this. And the threats are relatively low, or moderate. I would say moderate. Okay, so let's start this game. Hopefully you enjoy this video. If you do, leave a like. Let me know any feedback you have in the comments, and also just leave a comment about, anything you want, really. So, okay. Welcome to Mars, Commander. Yay. Okay. This is... Oh my god. I think I've played this map before. Hold on, wait. Very first thing I'm going to do. Pause the game. I think I've played this map. No, this is very similar to the preloaded map. But you know what? I don't care. I don't care anymore. Okay, this is the map. I'm pretty sure it's similar to that. Serenum Beta, is that what it's called? I'm not sure exactly. The one that I was right next to, it's a very similar map to that. It almost looks identical. This is the map. It's got a huge canyon thing down there, and it's got some cliffs and some flat plains up here. So what would be cool actually if we could build a artificial bridge across there. It would have to be made out of dirt because there's no such thing as bridges in this game. But yeah, anyway, we'll see. Okay, so orbital probe. Press X to deploy an orbital probe. So I've got 19 left. I had 20. So this is why I wanted orbital probes. Before we do that, because we paused it to save time, I'm going to start some research. Cancel that. We're just going to research 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Terraforming, I'm not going to worry about in the early game. As you can see, we have shuttle hubs there unlocked. Okay, so now that we've started research, what we also want to do next while we're waiting is resupply. Get a cargo rocket. Now this is where we get our prefab buildings that we wanted. I'm not going to get a generator. It's 400 million. And it's 2,000 kilograms, which, okay, it's not really that much, but it's still a nice amount to decide if I want to save it, and I'm going to save it. I'm going to get 2 fuel refineries because I haven't unlocked how to build them yet. Moisture evaporator is going to get 2 because that would come in handy. And I'm going to get 2 drone hubs. And then generator, I'm just going to be... All my electricity is going to come from solar panels, probably, to begin with. And all of these I need people to work on, so that will be fun. What I'm also going to order is 1 RC Commander, 1 Explorer, and apparently that's all I can order. Okay, but that is fine. Yeah. Okay, let's launch this one. So now we can... I'm not going to unpause the game yet. I'm going to continue scanning. So, if you are new, I will just say, if you hover over a square, it'll show you the chances, or if it's a high chance of containing a material or a resource in the square. So this sector, or square, C4, as you can see, it says high chance that this sector contains concrete or metals. And what I'm looking for personally is yes, concrete, and yes, metals. So actually, this was our starting square. Let's actually zoom into the one we very first scanned. We have research boost, all 20%, concrete low, concrete average, and metals average. So it's not horrible, but it could be better. Let's just do some random scanning up here. So rare metals we do need, but not straight away. Concrete, high grade, low, very high. In case you don't know, the grade of whatever resource you're looking at is how much you can extract. For example, if you have a very high grade concrete versus a low grade, right next to each other, very high, there's 659 concrete ore available there. Whereas here you've got a little bit more, 742, but it's a low grade. The high grade one would last longer if you started them both at the same time, simply because you can extract more, and it will go You extract the same amount at the same time, except the low grade will go down quicker. So it's not exactly showing you how much ore there is there. It's more showing you of, the time frame, although it's not in time. Okay, that didn't make a lot of sense, but I hope you understand. High grade will last longer. Holy shit. We got 3 rare metal deposits here, so we definitely need a dome over there in the future. How about on the ground here? So yeah, as I said, I'm looking for metal and concrete. Actually, the starting square's probably good enough, to be fair. So what we can do is just like scan around. I have 3 left. So if we start here, we've got concrete. It's all in a relatively short distance from each other. Metal, and then if we have a dome, a research dome in here somewhere, about here, we can get our research boost by 15 and 20%, and yes, it does add onto each other. So we have 35% research boost if we had a research hub little thing here. Well, since we have 3 more orbital probes, we can save them for later. So let's go ahead and land our very first rocket. So get rid of that. So let's land our rocket. Don't know where. We're not going to be obviously setting up a dome hub just yet. But what we can do is... should I land here or here? I might land here, because then we've got 2 concrete, 2 metal. Although it doesn't actually matter because the metal... okay, we'll just land there. Metal, you need people to extract, so unfortunately it's not going to work anyway. And there's one more thing, and that is we are stuck up here because these cliffs aren't too rocky for rovers or drones to climb down. And that is another reason... that is nice. That is another reason why we picked our sponsor, because we have shuttles. So we can set up a shuttle hub, and we can land another rocket maybe of like somewhere else, and then they can transport resources to each other. So that's the whole idea. So we'll set up... we'll unpause the game, and as you can see, our very first rocket is landing. I'm not sure I like the green. Oh yeah, I've landed on Mars. Okay. Piss off. Alright, our second rocket is on the way. So what we're going to do, very first thing, now that we have landed, is set up a universal deposit. Therefore, anything in this rocket's range, which apparently there's nothing... oh, okay, it doesn't matter. They're going to... the drones are going to place their resources on here. So that will unload the rocket with the little resources that we do have. I'm going to set this archery transport to transport all the resources in this area. So as you can see, there's a few metal deposits over here. So it should be collecting metal. This is how you get your very first metals to begin with, unless you buy them straight from Earth. There's also some more over there, which is nice. Okay, so... right, zoom back out. Actually, no, before we do that, we're going to actually set up the concrete extractors. So I'm going to have 2 set up. Actually, that's average 1,400. Now, you can set up multiple extractors on one location. So what you want to do is, you see this little grey hex that's around it, around the extractor, that's the dust pollution. So if you have it both concrete extractors outside of each other's dust pollution areas, then the extractors themselves will require maintenance less often, and they're both on the same deposit. So that is good. They do need power. They need 5, was it? Yes, 5. So I'm going to power things with solar panels to begin with. 5 production they produce. And a little trick for you is, if you build a cable, I pressed C then to get up to the cable tool, 5 hexes away from the concrete production, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The sixth one, so this one, where the solar panel is just outside of the dust pollution area, so therefore the solar panel is not going to get dirtier any quicker than it otherwise would. So because these require 5 and the solar panels put out 5, that means 1 can run it during the day. But I don't know if I want to run it at night or not. I am going to run it at night just so I can show you how I set it up. Middle click the mouse wheel, by the way, to change orientation, to rotate. So I'm going to have that there. So 2 solar panels next to each other, and a power accumulator, which is basically a battery. Have one of them. So now I'm producing 10 total power in this area, and this only requires 5. So therefore, hopefully one of them will, not hopefully, this will happen. One of them will power this during the day, and the other one will charge up the battery during the day. Then at night time, when both panels are turned off, the extractor will be running from the battery. Now, this does all of that automatically once it's all built. So I need the same process set up over here if I want to run this, which I do during the night. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then 2 solar panels. If you hold shift, you can build multiple at once. And a battery. So that is the setup for the concrete extractors. Now, I do need some fuel to be able to launch my rocket back into space and back to Earth. So that's why, oh shit, I did not get the fuel depot. Oh no, it's on this one. Okay, fuel refinery we have to wait for. Sensor towers. We need one of these to boost our scanning. Oh yes, okay, so when we're not using orbital probes, which most of the time you aren't, they're more of a beginner thing, you just click on the sections you want to scan in any order. I don't really care about the orders, so I just do like basically a whole chunk at a time. Okay, what next? Next we need probably some I forgot where to find it. Oh yeah, we need a dumping site for these, because they produce waste rock, and waste rock can be dumped into a large dumping site or a normal size dumping site. The other thing I was actually going to do, yes, I remember, is the rare metals refinery. So I'm going to place that here. It does require power, requires 10. So what I could do actually is this one doesn't produce dust, by the way, so you can have solar panels right next to it. I might do 5, 10, and when this does get built, you can speed up time. Do the plus and minus on your keyboard to speed up and slow down time. I'm going to be turning this off for the night, so this will only run during the day when the solar panels are on, and then that saves me having a battery, an extra battery, so that's one less thing I have to worry about to maintain. And also because we don't really need a lot of rare metals to begin with. As I said, that more of only a thing to get some more funding generated. Okay, so now all we have to do is wait for our drones to build that, which I think they're waiting on metal, yeah. So here's our rover back, good timing. So he's collecting the metal over there and bringing it back here because it's just outside of the shuttle or the spacecraft's reach, unfortunately. So yeah, he will continue doing that, and they will start using that metal to build these things. So the machine parts, which we bought on the first rocket, have been used. We've still got some left over. We've got 8 out of 30 left over on this little universal depot. So now that these are on, as you can see, they've got this icon. It's like a plug adapter. It's like a wall plug icon. That just means they require power to work, which we're waiting on for them to build. Okay, so we've got our very first solar panel built. That's producing 5 electricity, which is running this, which requires 5 power. So now I've got the second solar panel built. As you can see, they are connected down there with a little wire. If they're touching, like if the hexes are touching that the equipment's built on, then they'll automatically connect. Otherwise, then you need a cable to connect them if they're more than 1 hex away from each other. So when this battery is built, which we're waiting on concrete for, which this is going to produce, then it's probably too late in the day now, so this will probably not work tonight. So what I can do is turn it off for the night, so the night shift. If you click on the thing, it'll show up there's 3 different shifts: morning, noon and night. I'm going to turn the night one off, so at night it's not going to run, so therefore it's not going to discharge anything that does happen to be charged in this. And yeah, I might do that for this one as well, just for maybe the first night until, you know, everything's built and up and running. Okay, so that is the very first little setup we have. It's very nice, very nice. Oh, yes, don't forget you've got some things. If you right click, it gets rid of it. Colony India is finding water on Mars. I'll find water on Mars.
Milestone achieved.
Oh,
Sector
yes.
scanned.
Find water on Mars. Milestones, by the way, they're little things that you basically compete with other colonies with. So if you click down here on your planetary view, you can see the other colonies. I had mine randomly selected, so I have Colony of Church of the New Ark, whatever the hell that is. Then you have Colony of China and Colony of India. Then there's our colony here. So we're all on the same side of Mars, which is nice and cozy and comfortable with each other. Okay, so anyway, reaching milestones grants you research points, I guess they could say. And right now we are only getting 100 research on every sol or every day. And this here, 250 research, that was awarded to us instantly. So we automatically jumped 250 research up into whatever we're researching first on number 1. First in our queue, which is the evaporators. Hydroscopic evaporators. Moisture evaporators. Okay, so which we've already collected some of them anyway with our next rocket that we are about to land. So that's cool. Eureka. Our scientific analysis just crashed. We tried turning them off and on again, but the problem persisted after reboot. While looking for the glitch, your data technicians discovered the possibility to boost the performance of the program by running secondary analytic trials just this once. So that's pretty cool. We can improve the performance, gain 100 research, or focus on a single topic. A random tech will be researched. You know what? We don't really need random text research because we haven't even got our colony up and running yet. So we're just going to take the research points. So then if we look at our research, this should have gone up by 100, which I think it has. I can't remember what it was. Oh no. Sorry, I made a mistake. this jumped up. So we are getting an extra 100 points per soul for our sponsor. Okay. Okay, our second rocket is here. You don't have to land it straight away. If it has colonists or people on the rocket, then you do have a time frame to land it. It's usually, you know, a fairly long time, because the people will die afterwards, because, you know, you can't grow food on the rocket itself. You know, not enough that's sustainable anyway. We might land the second rocket. Whoops. What am I doing? We might land the second rocket over here. Or over here. No, we'll land it over here. No, I think just here would be good. And then we'll have one more universal deposit so the rocket can unload. Right now, I can't place it. That is because it's too far from a working drone commander. The rocket is a working drone commander when it lands, because it has a couple of drones already attached. So all I have to do is wait for it to, you know, fully unload. See? Now I can place it. So place that there. Then the drones will, because they're in proximity now of all this metal, the drones will automatically collect the surface metals and put them on the deposit, as long as we have enough space. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so we have finally built our power accumulator. So as you can see, it is charging 5, and it's a bit confusing when you first play how these work, but basically the output depends on what it's connected to. So because it's only connected to one thing using power, which is this, which is 5, it will only output 5 watts of power. Or megawatts, I'm not sure what they're measured in. 5 units of power, let's say that. But because I turned this off for the night, because, you know, obviously it's only partially charged because it wasn't on for a full day. It's going to run out before the sun comes up again the next day to charge the power this overnight. So that's why we turn this off just for the night. Tomorrow we will turn this back on, and then this will charge up fully during the day. Same with this one over here. This is built as well. And then, yeah, that will be all good. All up and running by the next day. Okay, well, I think we might almost round up this very first episode. I mean, I've talked a little bit about how things work, and I think we've made good progress, although we haven't actually done anything. Before we do round this video up, I will go through one more thing, and that is using your RC Explorer, which is this little rover. By the way, these rovers are not little when you put a human right next to them. Yeah, they are quite actually large and scary. Anyway, so little rover, you click on it. You can unlock text in the future so these will automatically scan anomalies and stuff. Anomalies are, you know, the bright yellow dots you see, not the rare resources like that, but these bright yellow dots. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our rover, and yes, you can click to scan an anomaly from this overview. We're going to start scanning these anomalies. So if you hold shift, you can queue up the tasks that's a rover or a drone is going to undertake for you. So he's going to scan this one, this one, this one, this one, these 4, just because we can't get down here yet to scan them. And the drone hubs, which I was talking about, which we had unlocked from the beginning, or the shuttle hubs, I should say, they can't transport rovers, unfortunately, because rovers are huge and shuttles are not really big enough to transport them. So here is our shuttle hub. I won't set this up this video. I'll give you a little look at what it looks like. This is it. I'm not going to set it up in this episode simply because there's no need. I mean, all of our settlement so far is just in this one little area, and shuttles are better if you have another area, which I still am going to do fairly early game. That's why I unlocked it in the first place. I think it's going to be over here. So what we might actually do is have our very first dome set up here, but then we're going to have another dome, you know, self-sufficient and everything, set up over here. Probably in, that's average, probably here in this area, simply because of the 3 rare metal deposits. And yeah, I'm all about that money, and I want to have a lot of money saved up, so in case we ever need it. And yeah, so our research hub location is set, our rare metal extractor location is set, unless we find a better one, but this has over 1,000 rare metals in one little square, so that's good. And yeah, I think for now that's a good start. It's a good start to this game, so I think I'd like to end it here. So thank you all for watching. If you have any feedback or suggestions, let me know in the comments, and also let me know if you want to see me do anything in particular on this map. I mean, as I said, this is only a very beginner friendly map, but you know, it could be fun to integrate some ideas from you into this map. But yeah, as I said, this is only a very beginner friendly let's play, so it's only going to be taking it easy. Hopefully we can finish at least the big projects, like getting some of the wonders unlocked by the end of the let's play, and hopefully as well we can finish the mystery for this map, for this game. I mean, doesn't that just look great? Two big rockets standing up. It'll look so much better as well when we have launch pads, you know, set up, you know, arranged in a nice design with our domes and everything. But yeah, for now, this looks really, really nice, and I'm quite happy with the settlement. I thought this was a random map, but apparently it might not be random. It might be the same one as Serenium Beta, I think it's called. I'm not exactly sure. Anyway, without further ado, without boring you anymore, probably we'll end it here. And thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.